promise to revenge. Oh yeah now, Oga Buhari, we dey beg you, let Nigeria no go scatter for your head, yo. Yes, sir. After the election, where them do, we still dey wait to see the change, yo. Cause all the promise when they make, it don't dey be like saying a fake, yo. And where the money, where the food, Nigerian people want improve. But since you come, na tears and pain, we don't tire to complain, no employment for the youth, and security no improve. Inflation don't they hit the roof. Still government no they say the truth. Oh yeah, my brother, this change now yawa. We don't do this suffer. Pray God for Nigeria. Oh yeah, my sister, this comment now yawa. You don't do this suffer. We pray God for Nigeria. After the election, where them do.
From YouTube right now. Good evening. If you're watching me on YouTube live, I think I should share it on YouTube as well. That won't be a bad idea. Okay, so you can join me on YouTube for those who love to be on YouTube, right? Then we'll get started in a moment. For those who are watching on Facebook, share wide, share Dano. Just like my dear sister Ayola would say, share Dano. Share this far and wide. Invite the Buhari Dins and the Buhari Diderins, the Buhari Denotus and the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus, Sunekaris, the Bungoziaris, the Mumu lecturers, the Bele lecturers, and these obedient fools, the humble slaves, the sophisticated morons, and all of them. Invite them over. Let's slap them with some truth that they hate to hear from us. Thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live. I've got an hour to free all of this from my chest. So thank you for joining me. We may sort of, at some point, we might actually get to take a course, but that will depend on how the conversation goes tonight. I'm going to start with the caption. All of you are reading the caption right now, the caption of this broadcast. I am starting this evening's broadcast, today's sermon, late, and I'm actually starting it on a very different note tonight. I want to probably use this opportunity to tell you about depression. Some of you quite, with different things going on around you in your lives, in business and family and the rest of that, you are dealing with one type of depression or the other. So for those who understand what I'm talking about, talk to people about it. Be thankful for what you have, because so many people are praying to have what you currently have, okay? Appreciate what you have. Do not use anyone's template. Do not wait on anybody's validation. This is social media, all right? Wherever you see here, pick what works for you and leave most of the irrelevance, because most of what happens on social media are irrelevant, right? So do not live your life based on what you assume or presume to be the life of others on social media. Be thankful, be grateful, and stop eating. Okay, it won't help you either. All right, there are so many things, so many people you see on social media who appear to be like perfect. No one is perfect. Everyone has a life. Outside the social media, do not live your life based on what you see on here or the pressure around you. Be thankful, be grateful for what you have, and if you are battling any form of depression, no one is above it, whether you are rich or poor or anything at all, right? No one is above depression. No one is above a mental illness in a way that not maybe not in a way we sort of castigate them from where I come from, Nigeria. So, but things are changing. Enlightenment of the people who have this kind of illnesses and all that. Talk to people. That's the most important thing. Okay, do not bottle it up. Do not take everything in. When you need to talk to people, please talk to people, especially those who are around you. They do help. So be thankful, be grateful, and be positive. At the end of the day, it will work out. Thank you very much for that. I just felt I should make that a way of gallant entry, because I'm going to start firing from all cylinders now. And this time around, this is where some of those who tell me I actually thought this guy is a cool guy. I am not a cool guy. I'm not a nice guy. And then I am not, especially when it comes to, saying it exactly the way it is without sugarcoating it or what have you. I am not a nice person, and I'm very much biased when it comes to that. So do not build expectations on me. Just listen to the truth. Make your own, whatever you make of it will be yours. Let's talk about insecurity that is now somehow, it's like a bad mess. When you fart, go deadly, and you are like, oh God, nobody heard me fart, so fine. But the stench, of that fart will eventually, take over the air, and everyone will know that someone just farted. That is exactly how they have managed to pretend, to patch and do all of that about insecurity in Nigeria. But like I used to say, the injustice and the injustices in Nigeria is so massive, is so much that it will go round. Everyone is going to have a bite. As long as you are in Nigeria, whether you are visiting, whether you live there, no matter how much you pretend that everything is not as bad as we say they are, guess what? The injustices in that country is so big enough, is so massive, is so bountiful enough that everyone will have a bite. No matter whether you voted for Buhari, whether you didn't vote for Buhari, whether you are a Christian, whether you are a Muslim, whether you don't even have any religion, whether you are a Northerner, whether you are a Southerner, whether you are from Kebbi, whether you are from Daura, whether you are from Otuoke, or you are from Abeokuta, you are from anywhere in the country. The injustices that has been breeded in Nigeria, the injustices that we have in Nigeria is so massive that it will take care of everyone. If SARS is not running after you, the untrained, jobless, hopeless, frustrated, many frustrated young Nigerians who are devising different means of survival because the system has failed them. They turn out to become Yahoo boys, Yahoo, trying to Yahoo again. When you see hustler, pickpocket is being defrauded by another Yahoo boy who is sending a message and say, oh, you lost your PIN card. All this drama. That is what we call the ripple effect of what the injustices in Nigeria would bring, the consequences of their actions. Everyone would have a bite. You may not live where the Boko Haram are kidnapping people and killing people. You may not even live around there. I've never been to the north in my life. I have never been. I've only been to Abuja for once. And I can't even call that a visit to Abuja. Once in my life. And I am 36 years old. And anywhere I go, they say I'm a Nigerian. And I have to admit it. And I have to be responsible for what? For the poor management of human and natural resources of the north. Over the years, I have to answer the name Nigeria, because Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. Why? Because Nigeria, as a region, that we call the northern part of the country. Whether you are from the north or you are from anywhere, the injustices will reach everyone. You don't need to live in the north. You don't need to be kidnapped by bandits. Your school or your children can dress so nice on school days, and you are very sure that they are going to come back home because you don't live in the north. Or you have what you are dealing with in the south. That is affecting everyone. The injustices will reach everyone. But let's talk about those who have remained adamant. The foolish ones who have decided to pretend. And those who are always like those who love the political correctness. One thing about Mayegun is this, that so many people who are the new recruits, the new followers of Mayegun's diary, may not really know or may not have really grasped the reality so far. Is this: I don't believe in political correctness. Don't say that. You know they are elders. I don't like the way you said that. Oh, Mayegun, you shouldn't have added this to your post. Mayegun, you shouldn't have said where you are not affected because you live outside Nigeria. Situation can change. You know, the political correctness. That's one thing that stands me out. I don't live by that. I live by my own rules. Rules set by myself, not the ones set by other people who want me to live by their own rules. And that's one of the things that stands me out as Mayegun general everywhere. Now let's talk about the insecurity in the north. So many people want to be politically correct. Don't say it that way, the way, what I said earlier. But 33 people killed in Katsina. I'm going to read the story. But before I get to that, before I get to the utterances of Buhari, the disappointing utterances of Buhari, and it's going to continue to thrive very well because the illiteracy in the north will always shield him. They will find excuses for him. Religion will blind many, right? Foolishness will actually drown and kill many. That is how it's going to be. But this is Buhari's statement. Back then in November 21st, November 22nd, 2019, Buhari said, I am not running for another term, so I can afford to be reckless. In his words, as quoted, I am not going to make mistake of attempting a third term or whatever term. Besides, I swore by the holy book that I believe in and will go by the constitution. I know I am in my last term and I can afford to be reckless because I am not going to ask you, I'm not going to ask for anybody's vote, unquote. You say, what do you call it? The same Cristiano Ronaldo that they sold to all of you, Buhari Diterins. The Cristiano Ronaldo that they sold to you in 2015. They told you that you are buying change, Cristiano Ronaldo, not knowing that they are actually giving you Oshodi Bakayoko or what's that guy's name? They told you are buying Ronaldo. Meanwhile, you are actually paying heavily, triple for Obalende Bakayoko or Daura Bakayoko. And this is the reality. He told you, I can afford to be reckless. I'm not going to ask you for any other term or whatever term you want to call it. So, and he never, he can actually afford to be reckless. Here's the story. Let's start from Borno. In Borno, Boko Haram killed stranded travelers. Over 30 of them killed. Unknown number kidnapped. They can't find them right now. Okay? Buhari came back. When he came back, this is what he said to the, to the family of those affected in Borno. He blamed the leaders, the community leaders. In his words, this is what he said. Let me get there. I am delighted with what the governor of Borno State and the Shehu of Borno have said, especially both of them. This is what the Shehu of Borno and the governor said. Maybe I should get, to take you through that first. The first person that spoke when Buhari when he returned from Eritrea when he returned from Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, in acknowledgement, okay, Abubakar Bayi, that's a monarch, Shehu of Borno, in the palace of Shehu of Borno, this is what the emir said, or the Shehu said. We appeal to your excellency for urgent attention. You have done well for us, and you are still doing much for us. And we appeal to you to continue in that direction. You see, eye service. The people of Borno are very grateful that you have to cut short your engagement in Addis Ababa to come and visit us. Then Zulu, the governor, said, let me quote the governor. There were sporadic killings and attacks, even here in the Maiduguri metropolis. About 20 local government areas of Borno State were displaced. 20 local government areas of Borno State displaced. But from May 2015, it was talking about 2015 there, we have recovered most of the displaced local government areas. By the year 2016 and 2017, we have almost celebrated the demise of the Boko Haram insurgency. But from March 2019, we have started recording simultaneous attacks and increased activities of the insurgents, which have resulted in the loss of lives of our people. We are calling on the Nigerian military to retrace their steps and replicate the successes they have recorded in 2016 and 2017 so that we can end this insurgency once and for all. We want them to take the war to the insurgents in the fringes of the Lake Chad. We also want the Nigerian military to foster unity between themselves and the civil populace. Also, we call on the Nigerian military to assist our people to gain access to their farmlands. Now, this is the point the governor was trying to paint. The picture the governor was trying to paint there. We went from losing 20 local governments in Borno State, which was not true. According to the report, 14 local governments was under the control of Boko Haram just before the election. Goodluck Jonathan postponed the election for another 2-3 months at the time. And then by May 29, 2019, when they were handing over to Buhari, there was no local government under the control of the Boko Haram. But let's leave the politics outside that now. The governor said they had 20 local government under Boko Haram. Fine. Now, 2016, 2017, that died down. But from March 2019, which is March last year, they have seen an increased. It didn't give actual fact of how many numbers of local government that are currently under the Boko Haram. I have the number. According to the report, latest report from the security experts, currently Nigeria, in Borno State, they have over 7 local governments under the control of Boko Haram. Apart from the fact that when you go to those local government secretariats, you will think, well, since they haven't taken over the local government secretariats, then they are not in control of those local governments. But when you go to the hinterland, when you go to the villages, you will realize that people no longer stay there because they are now controlled, where Boko Haram are now collecting taxes from local villagers in Borno State. Latest report. But here is Buhari's reply. I am happy that the governor have advised the military to work hard to restore the. Let me start from. I am delighted with what the governor of Borno State and the Shehu of Borno have said. Especially both of them have recognized the effort of this administration. A swollen head there in the area of security by comparing the situation in 2015 and now. So if you really want to gain Buhari's attention, you have to go there and tell him, PDP destroyed Nigeria. Buhari, thank you so much for fixing Nigeria. Although it hasn't really better, but you are doing so well. If you say that to Buhari, you will have his attention. That is all he wanted to hear. And that is exactly the card the traumatized people of Borno State, the people that keep giving him millions upon millions of votes every now and then. But yet he can't protect them. He can't protect them. That's the truth. I am happy. This Boko Haram or whoever they are cannot come up to Maiduguri or its environs to attack without the local leadership knowing. Right there, Buhari indicted the community leaders that he was meeting with. They all met in the palace of Shehu of Borno. Right? They met there to talk about the insecurity in Borno State. And right there, Buhari was indicted all the community leaders. Right there, the president indicted them that Boko Haram will never come here to attack your village without you knowing. Here, let's continue. Because traditionally, Here is it now. It's shifting the responsibility now. He said because traditionally, the local leadership is in charge of the security in their own respective areas. When Goodluck Jonathan was president, local leadership were not were not responsible for security. Northerners who are watching me right now, some of you are watching me from Borno, some of you are running 100 meters, 500 meters, 1,000 kilometers, running away from Boko Haram now. Buhari sold you gun, and you are glued now. Some of you wear that gun, you are glued now. Listen to that. When Jonathan was your president, the local security traditionally was not the responsibility of the local chiefs. But now that Buhari is the president, your local chiefs are responsible now for your security. Let's continue. He said, in my understanding of our culture, I wonder how Boko Haram survives up to this time. Do you understand that now? Like, he's asking them, like, I thought you people have jazz. Let me be honest, okay? See, I have spent a lot protecting you, and your governor confirmed it. Your shehu confirmed it. But guess what? Maybe all of you get jazz. How did Boko Haram survive? How is it that you couldn't use your jazz or anything at all to send them away? Buhari, the president of the country, is not a leader of an NGO. He's the president of Nigeria, where people just lost over 30 people killed. And he went there, was asking them, like, how did Boko Haram survive? He's asking local communities there, how did Boko Haram survive? As commander-in-chief, I campaigned in both in 2015 and 2019 on 3 fundamental issues. And one is security, because you cannot properly preside over a country without security. Even those who don't go to school know that. Secondly, it is the economy. He loves those 3 things. I campaigned on 3 things when I wanted to be president: anti-corruption, security, and what's the last one? Economy. Economy has collapsed. You are all struggling. You know, say sufferness, they're not just seriously right now. Like, things really tough. Even if you keep pretending, if social media make you pretend and you're okay with that, like, things are really tough now. You know that. Like, everyone is complaining. Even those who have job, who have work, who have businesses. It's not the same again. You know that, Abi? It's failed on economy. More people are jobless in Nigeria today than ever in our history. More children are now on the streets instead of being in schools, right? Ever in our history. Highest number in our history. So it failed on economy. Some of these children you see on the street, they are orphans now. They are without parents because some of their parents have been killed by either Boko Haram bandits, or they are just abandoned for so many clerics in the north to take care of them. So it's failed on security. Anti-corruption. You know what that is all about. But you love flaunting those flowery words. You know, empty thing, fake man, a scammer. Buhari, the most successful fraudster in Nigeria and Africa history. Buhari, we prefer to call him Boko Haram. Boko Haram, the most successful fraudster in Nigeria, political, traditional, religious, tribal history ever, is the most successful. Buhari is the one that scammed witches and wizards. They endorsed him. Buhari scammed our fast clerics, intelligent religious leaders. He scammed them. They believed him. Some of them started seeing visions of Dubai, Nigeria turning to Dubai, and the rest of that, because Buhari, the scammer, scammed them. They couldn't see right. Christian leaders and the rest of them too, they started seeing visions. They started seeing rubbish until Buhari became president. He's the most successful scammer. Let me continue. Secondly, it is the economy. We have vibrant and energetic youth in this country, where 60% are below the age of 30. We have to remind them that they must help us to stabilize this country so that they can have a better future. Scammer Buhari, pushing it to you again. You youths, you have to know that you have to help us build this country. With what? Build the country with what? With poor education. With a broken system already. How? with the corruption, high corruption in the high places, including Buhari and his family members. How are you going to help them build the country, build the future for yourselves? Scammer. And some of them believe that. They don't know how. If you ask them, hey, Mr. Buhari Didere, how can you build future of Nigeria with Buhari? Tell us. He doesn't know. He doesn't know because there is no platform for him to even understand how he can work with Buhari and build the country, because even Buhari doesn't even know how to build Nigeria. But they love using those fancy words. We need to think of how to build our country. And they are selling all the jobs of how to build the country to their children. You know what I mean? I am already 77 years old, and how many more years do I expect under normal circumstances? No be your fault, Buhari. I beg you. Don't blame yourself. The Buhari Deans, the Buhari Deteres, the Buhari Denotus, the Buhari Dejatus, the Ngoziaris, the Unnekaharis, and the Buhari Shukus. The obedient fools, the humbled slaves, the sophisticated morons, the Mumumadus, the Bele lecturers, and the Mumu lecturers. They are the one who brought you from your retirement to come and enjoy your life. They know you are old, you are clueless. But guess what? They said, come and help us. And now you are asking them, how many do you think I can do? You, all of you, should try and build the country. Oh, me, I'm old, I'm going to die anyway. So, if you like, build Nigeria. If you like, don't build Nigeria. As the commander-in-chief, I will deal with the security situation. Another Fabu. He releases Boko Haram members back to the society. They cook up so many media narrative to make it look like indeed, yes, they needed to release them back to the society without going through any military trial or any trial at all. There is no military set-up trial or tribunal that tried any of these Boko Haram killers. But guess what? Buhari is releasing them back to the society, giving us the narrative that they have been rehabilitated. Therefore, we should ignore that or ignore them. A liar. An old liar. Let's continue. Here's another one. Suspected bandits burn 16-member family to death in Kaduna. Let me read you the story. The incident occurred on Tuesday in Bakali village of Fatika district in Giwa local government area of the state. The bandits were said to have invaded the predominantly Hausa community at about 4 p.m. and started shooting sporadically. While the villagers scampered to safety, the assailants set fire on houses, vehicles, motorcycles, and farm produce in the village. A community leader told Channels Television on Wednesday that the bandits who invaded the village, in their number, locked up 16 members of a same family in a room and set fire on the house. That's what happened in that village in Kaduna. But that's another one again that happened just yesterday. Bandits killed 33 people in Katsina. Katsina is where Buhari came from. Buhari is from Katsina State, Daura. No fewer than 33 people have been killed by bandits who invaded not less than 7 villages in Katsina. Sources said the bandits carried out the killings in a commando-like style, leaving the villagers completely helpless. Here is that in Buhari's state, he can't protect them. So before you abuse me, before you ask me any question about what I need to do, I'm giving you the details of how much of the failure, whatever you are trying to defend is. I don't have any power to send military to anywhere now. But Buhari has the power and he can't even protect his own people. So what's the essence of your argument on social media? Why are you on Facebook trying to what? Prove what? To who? Until you become a victim? Yesterday's survivors, right, are today's victims. Today's survivors are going to be tomorrow's victims. Whether you like it or not, it is a turn-by-turn Nigeria limited. As long as you live in Nigeria, as long as whether you are rich, poor, young, old, male, female, Christian, Muslim, forget it, Northerner, Southerner, wherever you want to call yourself, right? Everyone will have a bite of it, turn by turn. And that's the point. Here is another one from Delta State. In fact, I'm actually going to be quoting the governor of Delta State, what's that his name again? Ifeanyi Okowa. The the governor of Delta State. Okowa alleges military personnel accompanied bandits who killed 8 persons in Delta. This is the story. Governor Ifeanyi Okowa says military personnel accompanied suspected bandits who wreaked havoc on some communities in the state last week. Gunmen had attacked Avon, Agadama, Ohoro, and other communities in Uweru Kingdom, Ugeli local government areas of the state on Thursday last week, just about 3-4 days ago. Is that the attacks led to the death of at least 8 persons, while several others sustained injuries. And here is what the governor said. The unwarranted attacks and the killings of innocent locals in Avon, Agadama, Ohoro, communities of Uweru Kingdom in Ugeli, North Local Government Area, and the wickedness of suspected herdsmen alleged to be aided and abetted by unidentified military personnel are mindless. I, however, appeal to the affected community to remain calm and peaceful. I commiserate with the communities and the families on the unfortunate loss of their loved ones. That is far away Delta. That is not even Borno. So if I tell you that this insecurity, this living in denial, living in denial, and then trying to color it and trying to pretend that they are not really existing, right? It will get to your turn. Continue to keep silence. The governor continued. He said, I have directed the Commissioner of Police and the Brigade Commander, 63 Brigade Nigerian Army, to rise to the occasion and bring the culprits to justice. As a state, our people have been very receptive to herdsmen and other visitors, but our hospitality and welcoming disposition should not be taken as an act of cowardice. The state government will continue to encourage peaceful, harmonious relationship between Deltans and their visitors, but will not watch outsiders attack and kill our people, kill our people any longer. That is the state governor, Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State. The insecurity will go around. Before I miss it, let me use this opportunity quickly to wish our own comrade, President Omoyole Sowore, happy birthday. I nearly missed that because, you said it in your live video today that we shouldn't really celebrate because it's absolutely nothing to celebrate. There's a lot to celebrate. The fact that we have you back and we are not so worried about your health anymore. We know you are fine and you are back with, with us. So it's a great thing that we are. In fact, that people are able to stand with you and celebrate with you, not just sending free Sowore and the rest of that, which would have been the ultimate dream, wish of some of these humbled slaves, obedient fools, and the sophisticated morons who have turned themselves to social media herdsmen, social media bandits, and who are feeding fat on the news of the horrible treatment that the horrible government in Nigeria was meting at you at the time. So it's a lot to celebrate. If you are watching me, happy birthday. And then to all of you watching, let's wish Sowore a very good and wonderful birthday today. So it's a pleasure. People now come out. It's this post on Mayegun's diary early this morning, and I was reading this guy from yesterday on Twitter. You see, some of them who turned their names when the Punch decided to drop the name president and drop the tag government for regime. President for retired general in the name of a Buhari, and then his government, instead of being called a government, it is now referred to as a regime, like a dictatorship now. Do you know that so many of them changed their name when the Punch changed the name of Buhari at the time? So many of these morons, so many of these social media herdsmen, Facebook bandits, and the rest of them, in order to show solidarity to Buhari, they changed their names to to generals. Some of them gave themselves different ranks to spite the Punch. Guess what? They are receiving the Punch now. They are being killed, and many of them can no longer pretend, to the point that they even forgot that they are still, flagging the name general. General is a general, is a general. Buhari said, you guys are responsible for your own death. 2 ways. 2 things I picked from his utterances so far. Number one, I didn't ask you to make me president. You all know that I am an old man, and therefore I'm going to be 77 soon, even though it's going to be 87 by the way. But yeah, I'm going to be 77. So if you cannot fix your future, that's your problem. Turn yourself to Controller General and the rest of them. Fine. If you die, you die. You brought me from this retirement, so therefore I owe you no explanation. So you are responsible for your own action. You brought him, and therefore you are responsible for that. So this young man was abusing people. Some of them, these Facebook adsmen, social media bandits, on this Buhari dithering with data. Buhari Danes, Ngozi Harris, Nneka Harris, obedient, full, humble slaves, sophisticated morons, and the rest of them. Dumbos with smartphones. They come at you. They defend this nonsense. But guess what? They are victims too. Now, when the village, and I saw this guy on Twitter, there are many. There's actually one, may God rest his soul, because there's no point in wishing them dead. They are just dying in their foolishness. And it is my job to remind you that if you are one of them, you want to wait till when they get to you, Abi, so that you too can come on Facebook and tell us how they have wiped the entire village, so that we can cry with you, Abi. We can then say, hey, God, hey, so sorry, Buhari, why now? Meanwhile, right now, your head, your twisted, fucked up mind is telling you that whoever is doing this is an enemy of Buhari. It's because this Mayegu hates Buhari. It's because you don't like Buhari and the rest of that. So you want to wait until when they get to your own village, wipe everyone out. Then you cry to Facebook. You cry to Facebook, you cry to Twitter that they have killed your people. And this is what happened. Only God saved you yesterday. Oh, they have kidnapped your neighbor's daughter. Oh, they've kidnapped the entire members of your street. So that we can cry with you, Abi. But today, we are enemy of Buhari for telling you that don't wait till this happens to you. Because it will get to you. The longer it takes, the longer it's going to be. And Buhari is feeding fat on that. They kill people in Katsina, where Buhari came from. Let me tell you a story about Katsina State, the insecurity in Katsina State since Buhari came to power. Before Buhari came to power, Katsina State, they never witnessed any insecurity like this one. Before Buhari came to power in 2015, Katsina, they never witnessed this kind of bandits killing, Fulani herdsmen, Boko Haram, and the rest of that. They were not part of it. Immediately Buhari came to power, the insecurity that the worsening insecurity situation in the northeast spread to everywhere, including his own Katsina State, and he can't even protect them to this day. Since after Buhari came to power, bandits, not even Boko Haram, bandits took over his state. They are not safe in Katsina. As I am talking to you right now, there are thousands, tens of thousands of people from Katsina State, Nigerians from Katsina State, Buhari State, who are living in Cameroon right now. They are living in IDP camp, refugee camp in Cameroon right now. People from Katsina. They kidnapped the chief, what do you call it, the leader, the community leader of Buhari's town, Daura, who also happened to be Buhari's in-law. They kidnapped him. Bandits, not Boko Haram, bandits. Bandits ravaged so many villages in Katsina to the point that the governor of Katsina State, Bello Masari, had to trek into the bush to go and meet some factions of these bandits who are operating in Katsina State, Buhari State. So where did you get this impression from? Buhari is trying. Yeah, but the president is trying. Some people are just trying to make it difficult for him. He can't even protect the people of his own state. There's no special treatment. There's nothing. Everyone is at you are on your own. At the mercy of whoever kill you first. If bandits don't kill you, maybe Boko Haram will get you. This one don't get you. Others who are looking for those to kidnap, they'll find you. It is just going to go round. And he can't even do anything. Right? That is on that. When they killed 33 people in Buhari's village, Buhari's state, this morning, Do you know what Garbage Shehu said? Garbage Shehu came out to say it was a revenge killing. Revenge. What happened? They wanted to make up a story. They said because some people they caught some Fulani herdsmen who were committing crime. So and they because those Fulani herdsmen probably killed people. So the villagers arrested them and they burned them alive. So the next thing in Buhari's state, the next thing Fulani herdsmen came back to revenge the death of that Fulani herdsman. That community, they killed 33 people, burned houses, and people ran away. So all of those people who ran away now, some of them will end up in IDP camp. They are not going to go back to their villages again because some of them have lost probably everything. In Buhari's town, and Nigerian soldiers are busy in Afarauku, in Abia State, looking for Nnamdi Kanu. Who are those who are coming to eat burial rice? Who are those who are coming to talk or drink someone wants to bury his own parents? They mobilize contingent, battalion of soldiers to go there and form security around people there. Waiting for probably someone to tell them to shoot and kill someone. Meanwhile, in Buhari's town, 33 people. In Borno, in Borno, 30 people. 3 days ago or 4 days ago. 3 days ago, Kaduna, 16 people. 2 days ago, 33 people from Buhari State. In January alone, the total number of people killed by Boko Haram bandits and the rest of them, the figure that they managed to release was over 222. 222 human beings in January alone. And Kaduna topped the list with over 100 people killed. So why am I saying this to you? I am saying this because you have the opportunity of watching me right now. It will even be so stupid of you if you are from the north, watching me right now, looking at me, listening to me, then at the end of the day, you couldn't make anything of it. Because to you, I'm saying this because I don't like your Buhari. I don't like it. But does that invalidate all I said? Don't wait till you become a victim. Because I will publish it. I'll talk about it. All right? When you become a victim. That's not a prayer. That is not anything. That's not a curse. Those who got killed yesterday, or those who have been killed throughout last week now, some of them never thought they would find themselves there. A lady who was actually going back home to get married. She was going back for her own nikah, for her own marriage. She was caught up in that killings in Borno. She was stranded in that traffic. She got killed. So many other young people who got killed in that killings there. So many of them must have their own, because some of their friends were on social media. And they were tagging people like, oh my God, I just lost Amira. Oh my God, Amira, oh Buhari, you need to do something about this killing. So do you want to wait till it becomes yours, or it turns to it becomes your own, your turn, before you realize that you are in danger and you should join and team up with those who ask this man to either do something or get lost, right? Instead of forming Voltron on social media, you can reply people. You are intelligent. You can do. It will become your turn. I don't live in Nigeria. So you can keep your political correctness to yourself. You don't need to say that. And are you trying to mock us? I'm not in competition with you. I am not in competition with anybody. You may watch my video and suddenly develop this personal delusion about whatever you think in your head. Unfortunately, I don't even see you. So I'm not in competition with you. I'm not here to mock you. But if you feel mocked, just swallow your hell. That's not my business. But don't wait till you become a victim. Don't wait, because I will publish it. I'm not going to be affected. And I'm not going to live by your political correctness. No, one person was telling me earlier today, fan of Mayegun's diary. I believe he was saying that out of whatever he calls it, love. Today, Rola, it is today we know. Nobody knows tomorrow. Mayegun, stop saying that you are not affected. You are not affected. So you want me to be affected? Simply because I am telling you that I'm not affected. And those of you who can get affected should stand up and, stop acting Voltron on social media, defending what will later kill you. Look at those who are dead. Many will still die. Tomorrow, many will die. I will report them. I didn't kill them. I'm not going to be the one to kill them. Those who are already going to kill them are already doing the job right now. And Buhari, who is supposed to stop them, is passing the blame to others. I'm telling you that it should be your responsibility, not my responsibility. It should be yours. And I am telling you that if you continue to defend such person, one day, soon, it will be your turn. You will be one of those who will come to us and say, Mayegun, you know what I mean? Let's talk about Oyo State. Something is cooking in Oyo State, and that's where I'm going to sort of round it up as well. Let me tell you something that so many people don't understand. And how Seyi Makinde handled this, we actually define is, the success or otherwise of his government. There is already a sort of landmine planted on his path by Ajimobi through APC, through the IG office, and through Malamu's office. Malami, you all know Malamu, the Attorney General of Nigeria. They want to use the local government, logjam to derail his government. And I think they are managing it well now. I don't know updates on that so far, but the local government in Oyo State, as I'm talking to you right now, they are more or less like not working. Okay? As you are watching me right now, the local government administration in Oyo State, the operation of smooth running of business of local government businesses in Oyo State right now are more or less like at the, if they are working at all, maybe they are working at 30% since the issue of this local government appeal court stuff came up. And then, Malamun telling the APC local government chairman to go back to their offices because they got duly elected. There is going to be another one tomorrow. In the last 9 months, when Seyi Makinde came to power, he announced that the NURTW at the time should settle whatever differences they have. His government is not going to allow any form of public disturbance or destruction of property in the state. And if they refuse to do that, he was going to proscribe them. And that's what happened. They had a clash after that, and Seyi Makinde proscribed NURTW in Oyo State. But something that people need to know is this. When they said they proscribed NURTW in Oyo State, what that prescription truly means is that they stopped NURTW thugs from harassing drivers and collecting dues, which should have been taxed from this motorist. So that is what the prescription was all about. Seyi Makinde did not stop the operation of some of these union and their vehicles and the way they are running their the transportation in Oyo State. He didn't really dabble into that. So what did he do? Normally, another privilege enjoyed by these union motorist leaders is that if you are the chairman of NURTW, they will give you a name. You'll be so popular, and for you to maintain that popularity, you can be in charge of, let's say, 30 buses under your name alone. Some of them, being put in your care by other people. You may have control of over 50 buses. So the privilege you have as a chairman of that garage is that your bosses will always, whenever your bosses comes in, they have to load and they will go. They don't join the queue. So others have to wait if you are not members, if you are not the chairman. So the chairman bosses must load in the garage, right? Before any other boss. So if the chairman's boss is loading now, right? Another person is, so let's say another person is loading now. Then one of the chairman's bosses comes in or comes back from a trip. It will just go straight on the queue and start loading after that one that is loading. So that's the privilege they enjoy. The another one is that they tax people, they take money, this roja they collect all the time. So Seyi Makinde stopped all of that. But they are still enjoying their privilege as chairmen. They didn't depose them. They stopped them from collecting money. Now, Seyi Makinde wants to act as the government to coordinate his tax base in Oyo State. Recently, the government of Oyo State also agreed to pay the minimum wage in Nigeria, which Seyi Makinde at first said he wasn't going to pay until he knows the financial status or the financial health of Oyo State. I remember that very well. So now the Oyo State government says they want to shore up their own tax base by also appointing park managers to all the parks in Oyo State. What is the duty of the park managers? They collect tax from vehicles. It's called, they collect park tax from the vehicles that are operating or loading from within the regulated parks in Oyo State. So this Oyo chairman came out. They said people should beg Sheyi to stop it. It stopped them from collecting their normal money in the last 9 months. They didn't fight. And that's the main problem. Do you know that that's the real thing? To stop Agberu from collecting that 100 naira load. That is the reason why they killed themselves. There's no other thing, because in a day, a state chairman of NURTW can make more than maybe 100 to 200 million naira a day. 200 million naira conveniently. You'll be shocked, Abi. It's not funny. They will collect a load from you, from all the garages in the entire, for instance, Lagos State, the entire garages in Lagos State. So imagine if the state government is making 100 million naira a day from park alone. Imagine the improvement that the transportation sector would have. In a state like Lagos State, imagine in a month how much Lagos State government can generate in tax from parks, right? From motor parks and the rest of that, if the money is not going into the pocket of MC Olomo and co, who have become the main security for these politicians in Lagos State as well. But what am I saying? It's time for people to realize that this is 21st century. If you want to live in a country, if you want to live in a city like London, you must begin to think like those who live in London. What do I mean? Transportation is a very big business, very lucrative business. In fact, if the government is sincere, right, and these union leaders who have been career motorists all their lives, if they want to be smart right now, this is not time to engage the government in fight or anything, or try to play. I know that's what will happen. I'm giving you my own idea now. This is not the time for them to fight the government or try to prove anything to Seyi Makinde's government. Rather, they should go into partnership, an open partnership now. Some of them should liquidate all their transportation resources under them. The smart ones right now should start looking into liquidating your resources. If you have buses, every resources you have in your transportation business, liquidate them now and partner with the state government that may come up with a modernized transportation system that will benefit your own investment. You don't have to know if buses have accidents or if the drivers are not going to deliver or the rest of that. A society whereby you can invest your own money. We have transportation companies here in the UK who are, very much licensed to operate by the government of the UK. Apart from the rail line, the bus business, especially the bus business in this UK, is so easy and so lucrative because it's about moving the people from one place to the other. And if you let your money work for you, you don't have to worry about thugs taking over your position as chairman. The big money you have right now, save that money. Innovation is coming. The governor said he's going to demolish and renovate Iwo Road. They want to turn Iwo Road to a big modern park, where genuine buses with real tags, no thugs, no Agberu, could be able to drive in, pick passengers, drop passengers, and move to the next destination in Oyo State. That's a brilliant idea that has no place for thugs wearing green and white, running after buses on the highway, on the motorway or expressway, trying to collect money and holding sticks, holding a plank, trying to collect and batching, taking bus mirrors and the rest of that in Oyo State or Lagos State. They should start thinking smart now. That era is coming to an end. If Seyi Makinde didn't do it, someone is going to eventually do it at the end of the day. Someone who is not going to be so politically drowned about the threat of we are going to destroy the state, we are going to do this. Someone is going to do it at the end of the day. And if they are genuinely smart, they are rich. These guys are rich. They've made so much money. So that is why they have the capacity. A transporter is always like kind of so rich. It is time for them. It's time for them now to what? To join the idea of the government what I can actually put as diversification. It's time for smart ones among them to diversify. Because if the government brings new companies who are ready to roll out tons and tons and tons of buses that will serve every route in Oyo State, there's nothing you can do. You may be saboteurs, you may try to sabotage the system, but you will be losing too. So for those who are smart, instead of trying to harm yourself, start killing people, start running Basek and the rest of that, your business is still your business. If you want to run a business in anywhere, you have to pay tax. And, you being a lord, being government to yourselves, that era should be gone by now. And that is why I call attention to this. That is going to be the second landmine they are going to probably exploit to enter Oyo State. And we wish we can have a Seyi Makinde with us on Mayegun's diary at any point in time, where we can probably probe, and listening, to what other plan he has to defend some of these oncoming, disruptions, because they are going to happen. And we will look into that. They said tomorrow, Monday, the park managers will resume across Oyo State, in every park across Oyo State. So which means from tomorrow, the NURTW are now telling their members, do not pay any dime to any park manager. So that is battle line drawn, isn't it? So we'll follow that up tomorrow. So thank you so much for your time. Here is where we'll draw the curtains, as they say. For those of you who are watching me from Mayegun's Diary YouTube channel, thank you. And then for those of you who are watching on my Facebook, thank you very much as well for your time. Go back, if you're just joining me, go back on this broadcast and watch from the beginning again. It will make sense to you. Stop defending what is not. Do not wait till you become a victim. Do not wait till your story becomes the story we talk about on social media as well. Stop turning yourselves into Facebook herdsmen, Facebook herdsmen, social media bandits, and so on and so forth. To prove what? If they kill you, I will report it. I didn't kill you. I'm not saying I'm wishing you to be killed. Some of you are actually on suicide mission. Every time you shout, Sai Baba, 4x4, 4x4, 4 times 4, or 4 plus 4, you are actually on a suicide mission. For so many of them who shouted 4 plus 4, 4 plus 4 in 2019, it's not even, it's just a year now. Some of them have been killed right now. So many people who shouted, ran away, ran through convoy of Buhari, the scammer, shouting 4 plus 4. Some of them are dead now. Some of those who are not killed by bandits or Boko Haram, some of them have been killed by starvation. They have been killed by hunger. So many of them have been killed by frustration. They shouted 4 plus 4, 4 plus 4. Do not wait till you become a victim. Do not wait till you become a victim. Because if you become a victim, I will stream your story. And the same way you abuse me here, right? Those who survive then will likely abuse me on your behalf. But know this as you go away tonight. Yesterday's survivors are today's victims. Today's victims, right, are yesterday's survivors. You see, the tomorrow's victims are going to be today's survivors also. Today's survivors are now going to be tomorrow's, victims. If you wait till it is your turn, it's your choice. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time, for joining me from all over the world. Tomorrow I'm off throughout this week, so I'm going to be quite homely, and then I run things with you guys most of the time. So thank you for joining me tonight. You have a wonderful evening, everyone.
After the election, where them do, we still they wait for the change, All the promise when they make, they don't be like saying a fake. Where the money, where the food, Cause everybody want improve. Since you come, no tears and pain, we don't tire to complain, I see the bad way you've been do. You don't turn Nigeria into 97% and 5%. You know been talk like president. They rule Nigeria with sentiment. And take your office to revenge. Oh yeah now, Oga Buhari, we dey beg you. Let Nigeria no go scatter for your head, yo. Yes, sir. election where them do. We still they wait to see the change, yo. Cause all the promise when they make, they don't they be like saying a fake, yo. And where the money, where the food, Nigerian people want improve. But since you come, not tears and pain, we don't tire to complain, no employment for the youth, and security no improve. Inflation don't they hit the roof. Still government no they say the truth. Oh yeah, my brother, this change now yawa. We don't today suffer. Pray God for Nigeria. After the election where them do, we still they wait to see the change. Cause all the promise when they make, try don't they be like saying a fake, yo. I wear the money, where the food. Nigerian people want improve. But since you come, not tears and pain, we don't tire to complain, See us economy just the fall, but it's just the travel around the world. I be your office there for sky. Now your time for working the deck and the fly. We no give you different but you take them. Certificate is certificate. Baba Buhari, election criminal. I make you collect and you hail them. Yasuki collect you the jail them. Baba Buhari, to the partial. After the election where them do, we still they wait for the change. All the promise when they make, they don't they be like saying a fake. Where the money, where the food, cause everybody want improve. Since you come, no tears and pain, we don't tire to complain, Only you and your people, they chop all the loot where you gather. Now enjoyment today, you know come presidency to suffer. You dey rule Nigeria like say na war. You dey fight corruption, they break the law. Worry is better, you withdraw. And they blame Jonathan for all of your flaws. Jonathan don't give you the power. No one no like you wahala. You no believe in your policy, pack up and let us be. After the election, where them do, we still they wait to see the change, yo. Cause all the promise when they make,